We're getting an update on the fire that displaced residents at two high-rise buildings and on Thorncliffe Park. Let's listen live.
Robert Houston, Acting Division Commander, Toronto Fire Services. So as we know, Toronto Fire Services responded to a high-rise residential fire just over 24 hours ago to 11 and 21 Thorncliffe Park Drive. We have been actively fighting a stubborn fire since then, and early on in the event we realized we had high levels of carbon monoxide throughout the building, and for life safety with our partnering agencies we did evacuations of all units in the building, and thanks to all of Toronto's emergency response agencies along with Red Cross and TTC, everybody is sheltered now, and the building is under control by Toronto Fire, where we are continuing efforts on fire extinguishment and air monitoring.
Are you any further ahead right now than you were this morning when the chief gave his briefing?
Yes, so what I can tell you, further ahead in the air monitoring field, we have successfully lowered our CO limits, which is positive news, and we have lowered our floor-to-floor temperatures in the last couple hours, so that is all positive. We do not have eyes on the fire. It is behind walls, so we can't get a visual on how our progress is, so that's how we're doing it. We're using temperature readings and CO levels to kind of give us an idea how the progression is.
Why is fire so challenging to manage?
It's challenging just where it is. It's trapped in between two walls of adjacent high-rises. So it's we only have limited access to apply water to the fire, and that's why it is challenging.
And just to follow up, what's the burn rate you have?
I would not know a burn rate. I can tell you it is a very slow burning fire, which is the reason we have high CO levels, a lot of incomplete low temperature burning.
This morning the chief said that there was no timeline to getting residents back. Is that still the case?
That is the case right now. We're still active firefighting and air monitoring. The good news is the temperatures and CO are going down, but we can't predict a timeline right now.
What are you calling this now? Is it 5-alarm or 1 alarm? You say it is now 1 alarm, 2 alarm?
Yeah, we would be in the 1 alarm range. We were up at 5 alarms. We were circulating crews through, and over the night we de-escalated the call, and now we are definitely within a 1 alarm level call.
Can you give us any update on the cause?
The cause, all we know is there is an ignition point down low in the building, maybe in the P1 area, to this actual substrate that's burning, and it's wicked its way up. Further investigation will tell ignition point, but at that point we just know that is the point, the cause of origin, but not a determination on it.
We know some residents have been allowed back into the building to collect some of their important necessary things like medication. How long of a period is a safe time for them to be inside with carbon monoxide levels at the level that you said?
Well, we are mostly going up for the tenants and retrieving things. We would not allow anybody into an area that's not safe at all. So there's no time that is safe if we deem that. So Toronto Fire is working with our specialized equipment to go get medicines or whatever is needed if that's the case.
Clarify how many units are affected here, because are all the units vacant at this point?
Yes, everything is affected, both buildings.
Is there an update for residents on a timeline for getting back inside the building? I know you said you're working on the fire extinguishing still, but if you had to speculate.
Yeah, I wouldn't speculate because we just don't know. We're in the middle of trying to mitigate the situation, and I just can't say.
Other than lower down in the building, is there a way to characterize the location where the ignition point was? Like, was it like an electrical room or something? Or?
No, I can say it was not an electrical room. It was down low. We discovered the heaviest smoke in the parking garage, which was the lowest point that we had access to.
It looks like you still have the power on, at least in this building. Is that correct? When
Yes.
all these fires, you're going to have damage to the hydroelectric system, right? This is a potential problem, right? Even after you've got it out.
Yes, so we do have the power on in both buildings. Toronto Hydro was in early on. We did shut off the power. They checked everything out for us. Power is back on, and that's not a concern for us.
If the fire is something that you can't see, how will you know for sure that it's out?
Smoke, heat, and air monitoring.
Councillor, an update, please.
Sure.
Thank you, Commander. First off, I just want to thank Commander Rob Hewson and the firefighters who have been working tirelessly to extinguish this fire for more than 24 hours now. I've heard nothing but positive feedback from residents in the community about the professionalism and the kindness of all of the crews that have been working here. I would also like to thank the Canadian Red Cross and Toronto Emergency Management for their continued support for all of the residents who've been evacuated from these two buildings, 11 Thorncliffe Park Drive and 21 Overlea Boulevard. As I said this morning, the most important thing is that everybody in this community is safe, and that will remain our top priority going forward. For any displaced residents in need of support, we really encourage you to reach out to the Red Cross. That number is 1-800-850-5090. Earlier today, I spoke about the resilience of this community and how we always rally together in difficult times. And since this fire began yesterday, I can't stress enough how many people have come forward to help and offer all types of support for residents. Last night, staff from the neighborhood office, or the neighborhood organization, often called TNO in this community, they jumped into action and they stayed overnight at the Thorncliffe Park Community Hub until 6 a.m. to give displaced residents a place to stay until further arrangements could be made. One of the women who helped spearhead this effort was actually a displaced resident herself from these buildings. So I just can't stress enough how much everybody has really worked to come together and worked collaboratively. I want to thank everyone for this. I also want to stress that we began early this morning working with senior TTC and transportation staff, and several hours ago, Thorncliffe Park Drive was fully opened and regular TTC service resumed. And that was really important because this is a community of roughly 25,000 people. So that was really important. In addition, at my request, the city dedicated 2 additional traffic agents to manage traffic on Overlea Boulevard. And these agents will be stationed at Millwood Road and Overlea Boulevard at that intersection, and that's also really important to keep this community moving. I am continuously working closely with emergency services and city staff, and my office stands ready to do whatever is needed. I want to thank the Thorncliffe Park community for your patience and your cooperation as crews continue their efforts to battle this ongoing fire. We are all facing this challenge together, and we continue to care for and support one another. Thank you.
Could you do a briefing tomorrow as well? Is that the plan?
Current plan right now is 9:30 or 9 and 4:30.
Wrap.
Just a regular progress that's happening.
Trucks are going to be here all night? Yeah.
Okay, so we've just been getting a live update from Toronto Fire Division Commander Robert Hewson. This is on what's being described as a complex fire. So just over 24 hours ago, right around 1:30 yesterday afternoon, firefighters went to what was a 5-alarm fire. This is at 11 Thorncliffe Park Drive and 21 Overlea Boulevard. Early on, they realized that there were high levels of carbon monoxide, so there was a full evacuation of more than 400 units over the 2 towers. The Red Cross and Toronto Emergency Services has been helping. Again, everyone is safe. The CO limits have been lowered, as well as the floor-to-floor temperatures, but firefighters do not have an eye on the fire because it's actually in the walls. They can't actually see it, and it's challenging because it's trapped between 2 walls of adjacent high-rises. It's a very slow-burning fire, resulting in those high CO levels. Again, active firefighting continues. We've also heard, about stories of how people have come together to help each other, and we will continue our live coverage of the situation happening in East York. CP24's Arda Zakarian is on the ground, and we'll be checking in with her shortly.